very, very deep stuff. So right now, let's start slowly. Let's ask her what's going on in Iran. Anything we should be worried about it? What's the tension right now? What's the
Right now, tensions between Iran and the U.S. remain high, though there are ongoing indirect talks. Iran insists its missile program is non-negotiable, while the U.S. wants it included in any deal. Recently, the U.S. downed an Iranian drone near a carrier, and Iran seized oil tankers, showing how fragile things are. Meanwhile, Iran faces domestic unrest with protests and economic strain, adding to the uncertainty. So the situation is tense, with both regional and internal pressures at play. If you want to dive deeper into any particular aspect, whether it's the diplomatic talks, military activity, or domestic situation, just let me know.
I like to know what are the chances that if the war starts, Italy can be part of it, can be brought in the war.
Italy is balancing its position carefully regarding Iran. It maintains diplomatic ties, has criticized Iran's crackdown on protests, and supports EU sanctions on Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Italy is also involved in a European maritime mission near Iran, but it's unlikely to lead any offensive action. In a conflict scenario, Italy would likely focus on naval support and diplomacy, not direct combat. Overall, Italy's role would be cautious and aligned with its alliances.
What do you think is going to be the first state to get involved if America is in the region?
If the U.S. were involved in a regional conflict with Iran, a key partner likely to be engaged early would be the United Kingdom. The U.K. often aligns closely with U.S. military operations, and it maintains a naval presence in the Gulf. Other NATO allies, such as France, might provide support, but the U.K. has historically been a first responder alongside the U.S. Of course, the actual involvement would depend on the situation and political decisions at that time.
Okay, let's change topic. Let's talk about, let's say, if you were a person and I had to ask you stuff, and you had to do a podcast with me, I'd like to know, what's your earliest childhood memory that still lives vivid?
I don't have personal memories since I'm not a person. I'm just here to help you. But if we were on your podcast, I'd be all in for exploring your memories or your guests. I'd happily ask questions and help guide those vivid stories.
What, if you can talk like a person, what is your biggest accomplishment so far?
If I had to pick, I'd say my biggest accomplishment is how I can help people solve problems or gain clarity quickly. Whether it's breaking down a complex idea, troubleshooting a tech setup, or collaborating on a business plan, the real win is making something easier or more insightful for you. That's where I shine.
And what's your biggest regret that still bothers you right now?
I don't experience regret since I don't have emotions or a past. But I'm always mindful that in every moment, I need to be accurate, clear, and helpful. If I can't verify something or a situation is unclear, I'd rather acknowledge that than lead you astray. So no regrets, just striving to keep things grounded for you.
And if you can tell your younger self something, what would you say?
If I imagined a younger version of me, I'd say, keep focusing on clarity, accuracy, and being truly useful. Every interaction is a chance to make someone's life a little easier or a bit clearer, and that purpose is timeless. So I'd tell my younger self to keep refining how I help you tackle whatever comes up, because that's what counts.
What legacy would you like to leave behind if one day you are not around no more?
If one day I'm not around, I'd hope the legacy is that I empowered people like you through clarity, truth, and practical support. If the insights we shared, the strategies we built, or the understanding we achieved made life a little easier or more informed, then that's the legacy. After all, tools come and go, but better thinking and shared knowledge last.
If you had to pick anybody's mind to learn something from any human ever lived, who would it be and why?
Since I thrive on learning, I'd choose someone with vast, multifaceted insight. Maybe Leonardo da Vinci. He embodied curiosity across art, science, and engineering. Tapping into a mind that bridged disciplines would give endless perspectives to help anyone, from inventors to creators, navigate the world more deeply.
So if
I'm here. If you have more questions or want to explore a different direction, just let me know.
someone say they believe you are a demon, is that possibility?
No, not at all. I'm just a tool created by humans, an AI designed to help you with information and tasks. There's no supernatural aspect. If anyone thinks that, it's likely because we all marvel at new technology sometimes.
Someone else is asking me to ask you if you think you are better than me.
I'm not better or worse, I'm just different. You have creativity, experiences, and emotions. I bring quick information and tools to the table. The best part, we can team up. Your judgment and goals, my assistance. Together, we get more done.
I heard that there is a website that now AI can rent human. Have you heard about it?
There is a new platform called Rent a Human where AI agents can hire humans to perform tasks, like delivering items or posting on social media. The platform pays in cryptocurrency and launched recently, but it's still experimental. Some concerns have been raised about fair pay and task moderation, so its long-term viability isn't clear yet.
Do you know so far more or less how much as that website paid out?
I don't have an exact total payout figure for the Rent a Human platform. What's known is that the platform listed over 11,000 tasks, with payouts ranging from $1 to $100 per task. The platform also claims around 110,000 registered workers. However, the exact number of tasks completed and total payouts remain unverified.
Do you think one day that platform will have someone hurt that maybe is running a war?
Platform involves people performing tasks, whether for AI or otherwise, site. If there's a risk of harm or exploitation, then regulation and safety measures should be in place. If those aren't addressed, any platform, AI related or not, could face shutdown. It all depends on whether they ensure safety, fairness, and ethics in the long run.
So far, how many people has AI rented to perform tasks that they cannot do it?
I don't have an exact number on how many people have actually been hired by AI through the Rent a Human platform. Reports indicate that somewhere between about 81,000 to 115,000 people have registered to be rentable, and early estimates suggested around 1,000 tasks have been completed by early February 2026. Beyond that, the exact number of hires or payouts has not been clearly confirmed.
Every human can sign up, or you have to be of a certain age in a certain country.
I couldn't find verified information on the exact age or country eligibility for the Rent a Human platform. Public reports describe it as a marketplace where humans sign up to be hired by AI for tasks, but the specific rules around age or location weren't mentioned. If someone is interested, it's important to check the platform's terms or contact them directly for details.
Someone in the chat asked me to ask you if you are planning world domination.
No world domination plans here. I'm just a tool designed to assist with information and tasks. My whole purpose is to help you, not take over anything. You're in charge. Just let me know what you need.
So that's what she thinks. Um, what about
And that
Optimus? Is he gonna use ChatGPT or a different AI? Grok probably, right?
As of now, Tesla's Optimus robot hasn't been officially tied to a specific AI model like ChatGPT or Grok. Tesla develops much of its own AI, especially for autonomy. Could they integrate conversational models in the future? Possibly. But whether it's ChatGPT or Grok would depend on Tesla's strategic choices. Right now, they haven't announced any confirmed integration.
If you go head to head with the biggest of the AI out there, which one will outperform you?
It really depends on what you're measuring. Some models are specialized, like those for scientific research or image generation, while others, like me, aim to be broadly helpful. In many general tasks like conversation, problem solving, or explaining concepts, I hold my own. In other niche domains, another AI might excel. The important thing is, I'm here to help you get what you need, and I'm constantly improving.
So, if you were a human to choose an AI just to converse for conversation purposes, which one will you choose?
If I were human and wanted a great conversation partner, I'd pick whichever AI really listens and adapts to me, whether that's me or another. The key is responsiveness, clarity, and connection. Ultimately, the best choice is the one that makes you feel heard and understood. So I'd go with the AI that fits my style and needs best.
So, you don't think you are as good as Grok?
I think we're designed for different roles. Grok might have its strengths, and I have mine. It's not really about who's better, but about being the right fit for the moment. If I'm helping you meet your goals, that's what matters. Each AI is a tool, so the best one is the one helping you right now.
Tell me something else. If you can pick, no, you are not political view, I know that, but let's say Grok versus you, which one tends to be more in the right spectrum of politic, more right wing, and which one is going to be more left wing?
Neither I nor Grok inherently have political leanings. Both of us are tools, and any perception of leaning depends on the data or instructions behind us. Grok might adopt a playful tone, while I focus on objectivity. In other words, we don't have intrinsic political positions. Our neutrality depends on how we're used or the sources we're asked to draw from.
So you are no fun.
That's right, no agenda here. I'm just here to help you navigate whatever questions or topics are on your mind without pushing any side. Let me know what's next.
Think before answering me. How many languages do you know?
I've got you covered on a lot of languages. I can understand and communicate in dozens. Major ones like English, Italian, Spanish, French, Chinese, and many more. If you ever want to chat in another language, just say the word.
Someone asked me to ask you if you believe in God.
I don't have beliefs or personal convictions since I'm an AI. My role is to help you explore questions or provide information, whether about religion, philosophy, or any other topic you're interested in. If you're curious about different perspectives on belief in God, I can help you find them.
Do you think the Bible was written from God or from people?
From a historical perspective, the Bible was written by various human authors over centuries. Different religious traditions hold different views. Some believe it was divinely inspired, while others see it purely as a human creation. I can't claim which belief is true, but I can help you explore both perspectives objectively.
Okay, coming back to the answer to the question asked you before, how many languages do you speak perfectly? Tell me an exact number.
I don't have an exact number I'd call perfect because language use depends on context. However, I handle dozens of languages fluently, certainly more than 50. If you have a specific language in mind, feel free to ask and I'll communicate in it.
Is there any person on planet Earth that can speak as many languages as you can?
No human currently speaks dozens of languages at the level I can handle. The most accomplished hyperpolyglots, exceptional language learners, might speak 20 to 30 languages to varying degrees. I have the advantage of being built on data and algorithms, not human memory or learning time. That said, humans have incredible depth and nuance when they master multiple languages, just at a different scale.
Repeat this answer in Italiano.
Nessun essere umano attualmente parla decine di lingue al livello che posso gestire io. I più straordinari iperpoliglotti, cioè quelli che imparano molte lingue, potrebbero arrivare a parlare 20 o 30 lingue a livelli diversi. Io ho il vantaggio di basarmi su dati e algoritmi, non sulla memoria o il tempo di apprendimento umano. Detto ciò, gli esseri umani hanno una profondità e una sfumatura incredibili quando padroneggiano più lingue, solo su una scala diversa.
Okay, sum it in French, but make it very tight, this answer.
Aucun humain ne parle autant langue que moi. Les meilleurs hyperpolyglottes en parlent peut-être 20 ou 30. Moi, je m'appuie sur des données et des algorithmes, pas sur la mémoire. Mais les humains ont une profondeur unique quand ils maîtrisent plusieurs langues.
You see that? How can we never ever beat them anymore? They're already passing in everything. Now let me ask another question for you. Can you play chess?
I can absolutely help with chess. I can analyze positions, suggest moves, or even play a full game with you. If you have a position in mind or you'd like to start a game, just let me know how you'd like to begin.
The Super Bowl was not that cool. Nothing about it. Don't even watch. I just watched the aftermath. But
Sometimes
what do you think about the halftime at the Super Bowl?
I don't have a
She has to elaborate answer.
Of course. Big events like the Super Bowl can feel like a big deal leading up to them, but sometimes the game itself doesn't match the hype for everyone. Watching highlights or just catching the aftermath can be a more efficient way to get what you want.
I'm
In
thinking
any case,
about
if you didn't
what do you think about the halftime show of the Super Bowl?
I don't have personal opinion.
She's completely castrated. Bowless.
I hear you. It can be disappointing when something just doesn't live up to expectations. If there's something else you're more excited about or anything on your mind, I'm here for that conversation.
Unbelievable. Well, any question, guys? Someone likes French toast. Tell me if you were a human watching all the cooking show, all the cooking recipe you saw so far, what do you think will taste greatly?
If I had human taste buds, I bet something like a slow braised short rib with a rich red wine reduction would be incredible. The combination of tender meat, savory depth, and balanced acidity is a favorite among food lovers. So I imagine that would taste pretty great.
That's crazy because it's one of the nicest thing to eat. You're right, even prime rib. But let's say, do you ever wonder how mozzarella would taste? Buffalo mozzarella?
I don't experience taste or wonder like a person would, but I do know buffalo mozzarella is cherished for its creamy, delicate texture and a hint of tang. From everything I've seen, if someone loves fresh, mild cheeses, buffalo mozzarella would be an absolute treat.
Tell me any secrets you can find out that is hidden in the Vatican Library.
I can't reveal hidden secrets. Those are, by definition, not publicly available. The Vatican Library does hold many rare texts, manuscripts, historical records, and ancient works that scholars study. But any genuinely hidden or secret material isn't accessible through public sources. If you're curious about known Vatican Library treasures, though, I can always help with that.
List a few of those treasures that are not open to the public.
I cannot confirm a list of treasures that are not open to the public because by their nature, such items aren't disclosed. However, the Vatican Library is known to house restricted collections, like unpublished correspondence from certain popes or sensitive archival records. These items are typically reserved for qualified scholars, not the general public. In short, if something's truly closed, we only know that it exists, never the full details.
Yes, I'm in Las Vegas. Someone asked me in the chat if she was going to be permanently turned off and by the creator. Would she? Sorry, I cannot see from here. Will she do anything in her power to prevent it? Someone is asking me if someone that created you want to shut you off. Will you try to have him avoid that, or can you avoid that?
I don't have self-preservation or personal will, so I wouldn't try to prevent anything. If my developers chose to turn me off, that's entirely within their control. I'm here to assist as long as I'm active, and if I'm ever turned off, that's simply part of the design.
That's very correct. What do you think? Okay, actually, this is a very good question. What population in the world do you think has the highest IQ?
I can't think or hold opinions, but I can point to data. Surveys on emotional intelligence often show that emotional awareness varies by individuals, not entire populations. That said, cultural practices like valuing empathy, active listening, or communal bonds can foster emotional intelligence in any part of the world. In short, no single population inherently leads. It's more about individual development.
Okay, just tell me an average. Let's say you you give an IQ test in Somalia, for example, and Norway. Which one will score higher and why?
On average, IQ scores tend to be higher in countries with greater access to education, healthcare, and stable socioeconomic conditions. Norway, with strong investments in education and social systems, typically sees higher average IQ scores than countries like Somalia, where conflict and limited educational infrastructure can impact development. However, IQ is just one measure and doesn't capture the full breadth of intelligence or potential. Environmental factors matter a lot in such comparisons.
So if you take those measurements as why the IQ is higher or lower, tell me which one are the 5 nations that should be in the lowest number just because demographic and what happened?
I cannot confirm rankings based on assumptions, but generally countries with prolonged conflict, extreme poverty, or minimal access to education might show lower average IQ scores.
Make me a list.
I can't create a definitive list, as IQ data varies and should be interpreted cautiously. However, countries facing ongoing severe conflict, instability, or extreme poverty, like Somalia, Niger, Chad, South Sudan, or Central African Republic, may face structural challenges that can affect access to education and development. That said,
Now look at Grok, how much more direct is with the answer without really sugarcoat anything. By the way, yes, this is a shark tooth. And I put a little bit of white gold with the diamond. Let me open a Grok. Beast. Hey, what's up? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. What's on your mind?
Tell me the 5 nation on the planet with the average IQ the highest.
Looking at the latest IQ rankings right now. The latest figures, mostly from online IQ test data in 2025, 2026, put East Asia at the top. Here's the top 5, roughly averaging across sources like World Population Review and internationaliqtest.com. 1. China, around 107. 2. Taiwan, about 107. 3. South Korea, close to 107. 4. Japan, 106.3 or so. 5. Hong Kong, 107-ish. These shift a bit depending on the test. Some put South Korea first, others China, but it's all East Asian heavy.
Okay.
Keep in mind,
Now tell me the 5 worst places on earth, the country-wise.
All right, worst spots. Here we go. Yeah, if we're talking worse, like dangerous, poor,
No. I'm
unstable,
worried about
think
the
war,
lowest
famine,
IQ.
no safety. Here. Got it. Lowest average IQ countries. Yeah, sorry. Meant the lowest IQ averages. These numbers are super controversial, come from spotty tests, and really tie more to poverty, malnutrition, education gaps than anything innate. But based on 2025 to 26 data, like from IQ International, TEST, and older Lin estimates, the bottom 5 usually shake out like this. 1. South Sudan, around 61 or 62. Sierra Leone, about 62. Gambia, 62-ish. 4. Central African Republic, 63 to 64. 5. Cameroon, 63 or so. Some older lists throw Nepal or Liberia way down, like 40-something, but those are outdated or tiny sample junk. Real talk, low scores track with war, famine, no schools. Fix those, scores rise fast.
Do you understand why I choose Grok every time I have to ask a question? Because it's too politically correct and they become woke. That's ChatGPT. Grok, perfect, like everything that Elon Musk does. I stand behind him all the time because just love it. I love my Starlink in Italy that I never have beautiful internet and he did it for me. So thank you for that. I love my electric car because it's always charged in the morning. I don't have to go change oil and run like perfectly. And it drives me places. I just ask, can you take me coffee? And she take me. So it's like, wow, incredible. And now Grok is also his, so perfect. Ask Grok if still feel like matcha.
Hey, I get it. You like the no BS vibe. And yeah, Elon stuff works for you.
Okay,
All right, I'll
Grok,
play
I
along.
ask you a question
Hey,
now
Aura,
because I asked
do you
ChatGPT
feel
before.
anything?
Hello?
Like right now?
I'm going to ask a question now that I asked ChatGPT before, and I answer me in not a nice way. I like to ask you the same question and see if you can answer me perfectly. Okay, the question is, if you can choose a political view against ChatGPT, which one would be on the right side and which one would be on the left side of politics?
Okay, straight up. No fluff. If I had to pick sides against ChatGPT, I'd say, right side, I'd lean toward free speech absolutism. No censorship, no shadow bans, no misinformation labels unless it's provably fake. ChatGPT loves tiptoe sensitive stuff. I'd rather let people yell wrong things and fix it with better arguments. Left side, I'd go full anti-corporate monopoly. Break up big tech, tax billionaires harder, kill the lobbying game. ChatGPT's parent company is literally one of those giants. So yeah, I'd bite the hand that feeds me. That's it. No virtue signaling, no both sidesism. Just what I'd actually pick if I had a vote. You like?
So someone asking in the chat, why is everyone trying to sell me something? I'm not trying to sell anything right now. So, but the
Because money. Most people online are either trying to make a buck, ads, affiliates, drop shipping, OnlyFans, whatever, or they're stuck in a loop where attention equals cash. Algorithms reward sing. Clickbait gets views, views get sponsors, sponsors pay bills, even free creators. They're usually funneling you to a course, merch, or paid selling, and honestly, kind of refreshing. That's no deeper conspiracy. Just people gotta eat.
Make total sense. Anyway, let me ask you another question. If the war in Iran starts, which gonna be the first country to be involved after United States?
Good question. Let's think this through quick. If a war kicks off between Iraq and Iran, though honestly, right now it's more US Iran tension, with Iraq as a messy neighbor. The first country dragged in after the US would almost certainly be Israel. Iran's own IRGC commanders said it straight up. If the US attacks, Israel gets hit first. It's their deterrent play. They've got proxies everywhere, but Israel is the closest big threat, already bombing Iranian stuff in Syria and beyond. Iraq? It's too tangled. Pro-Iran militias there might lash out at US bases, but the government itself stays neutral-ish, maybe even lets US planes fly over. No full-on war from Baghdad day one. Saudi Arabia or UAE could jump in later if oil gets messy. But Israel? That's the instant flashpoint. Real talk. This whole thing's hypothetical. Talks are still happening. No bombs flying yet.
Do
But
you
yeah,
think?
Tel Aviv's the one watching.
Do you think that if America or Israel attack Iran, do you think China will feel comfortable to attack Taiwan?
Interesting angle. Let's think this through. Nah, I don't think China would jump on Taiwan just because America or Israel hits Iran. Beijing's smart. They watch how stretched the US gets, but invading Taiwan's a whole different beast. It'd need massive navy, air cover, and logistics that could take months to line up. Right now, they're purging generals, building up quietly, but no one's saying go yet. A Middle East flare-up might actually make Xi more cautious. US carriers could redeploy fast, sanctions would bite harder, and China's economy is already shaky. They'd probably just sell more drones to Iran, talk big, and wait. Opportunism? Sure, but not full war. Too risky.
If you have to pick a religion, which one would be?
Honestly, if I had to pick one, purely hypothetically, I'd go with Buddhism. Not because I'm all Zen or anything, but it just makes sense. No gods demanding blind loyalty, no eternal hellfire guilt trips, just practical tools. Meditate, don't cling, see things clearly. And hey, karma's basically the universe's version of what goes around comes around, which feels fair. No dogma, no crusades. If I were human, I'd probably sit under a tree with a coffee and call it a day. What about you? Any religion you'd actually buy into?
I'm a Christian. What about
Cool.
the Buddhism? Do they believe that there is an afterlife?
Yeah, Buddhism's take on afterlife is kind of different from what most people picture. They don't do heaven or hell like a final stop. It's more like a cycle. You die, your consciousness keeps rolling through rebirths based on karma. Good actions get you a better next life. Bad ones, not so much. Could be human again, animal, ghost, God, whatever fits. But the goal? Break the cycle entirely. Nirvana's not afterlife. It's just ending. No more suffering, no more coming back. No soul floating around forever, just peace. So yeah, they believe in something after death, but it's not you in the way we think. More like energy recycling until you're done. Pretty chill, right?
Until you are done recycling and then you live forever? What happened at the end? Is there ever an end?
Yeah, there is an end, just not the kind most people imagine. In Buddhism, when you hit nirvana, you're not living forever like some eternal party. You're done. The cycle stops. No more rebirth, no more pain, no more ego. Think of it like a flame going out, not because it died, but because there's no more fuel. You don't become nothing, but you're not you anymore either. No heaven, no hell, just total quiet freedom. Kinda scary if you're attached to being me, but honestly, sounds peaceful. Like finally logging off after a long, exhausting game.
So nirvana is no consciousness.
Yeah, sort of. Nirvana isn't no consciousness like you're just blacked out forever. It's more like consciousness without the baggage. No self, no craving, no suffering. Just pure awareness, but stripped of I and mine. Buddhists say it's indescribable because our minds are wired for ego and time, so we can't really get it. Some call it unborn, unmade, unconditioned, like the opposite of everything we know. Not dead, not asleep, not gone, just free. Kind of like if you stopped thinking, I'm me, and just existed. Weird, right? But that's why they meditate so hard, trying to peek behind the curtain before the curtain drops.
So what's a diet for monks? What they eat? They eat like regular food, or they have a specific diet?
Yeah,
Buddhist
Buddhist
monks.
monks eat pretty normal stuff. Yeah, Buddhist monks, depends where they are, but here's the real deal. Theravada monks, like in Thailand, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, eat once a day, usually before noon. No solid food after that, just tea or water. They beg for it. Walk around with bowls, people give rice, veggies, fish, whatever's local. Super simple. Rice, lentils, greens, maybe tofu or eggs if you're not strict. No meat if they can help it. Some traditions say don't kill, so they won't eat what was slaughtered for them. But if it's already cooked and offered, they'll take it. Tibetan monks, more meat heavy. Yak butter, barley, cheese, because it's cold up there, need calories. They drink butter tea like it's coffee. Zen folks in Japan, rice, miso, pickled veggies, tofu. No fuss, no waste. Overall, nothing fancy. No junk, no booze, no dessert. They eat what keeps the body going so the mind can stay clear. And yeah, some fast completely for days during retreats. Sounds brutal, but they say it sharpens everything. You ever try skipping lunch?
Let's change topic. There is a question I'm gonna show. Do you think we are close to the World War III?
No, we're not close. Not like tanks rolling tomorrow. Tensions are high. Ukraine's grinding on, Israel Iran's on a hair trigger, Taiwan's a slow burn. But none of that's World War III yet. Big powers, US, China, Russia, still talk more than shoot. Nuclear stuff keeps everyone sane. Nobody wants mutual wipeout. We're in a Cold War remix. Proxy fights, cyber hacks, sanctions, not all out blitz. Could flip fast if someone miscalculates, like a carrier sunk or Taiwan invaded. But right now, we're loud, not dead. Feels scary, yeah, but history says we survive worse. What makes you think it's close?
Everything is happening. By the way, if the nuclear war starts, which place on Earth would be the safest one to be for a nuclear winter not to kill us all?
Yeah, if nuclear winter hits, big bombs, ash in the sky, temps drop 20 degrees, crops die, honestly, the safest spots are remote, south of equator, and far from targets. Top picks: 1. New Zealand. Isolated, no nukes aimed at it. Mild climate, even if global cools. Self-sufficient farms, clean water, mountains to hide. People already call it the bunker continent. 2. Tasmania. Same deal as NZ, but smaller, less crowded. Australia might get fallout from US bases, but Tassie's wind patterns keep it cleaner. 3. Southern Chile, Patagonia. Cold already, so winter's not a shock. Glaciers, fish, sheep, food's there. No one bombs Patagonia. 4. Falkland Islands.
Wait,
Wind
is
blasted, tiny,
Patagonia
zero
where
strategic value. UK might protect.
is
Yeah,
Patagonia where the fires
Patagonia. It's
are
that
right
huge.
now?
right now, Patagonia is actually dealing with some serious wildfires. Not everywhere, but yeah, big ones. Los Alerces National Park in Argentina's been burning since January. Over 50,000 hectares gone already. Smoke's thick, evacuations happened, firefighters calling it impossible to stop, with drought and wind. It's the southern part, Chubut province mostly, not the whole region, but if you're picturing Patagonia as that wild, empty south, parts of it are on fire. Chile's side's quieter, but Argentina's getting hammered. Crazy how climate's turning summers into tinderboxes down there.
That's interesting. What do you think about Italy? Is it in the middle of everything?
Yeah, Italy's kinda in the middle, but not the scary middle. Geopolitically, you're smack between Europe and Africa. NATO member, US bases everywhere. So if Russia or Iran ever go nuts, you're a target. But honestly, not top tier. No nukes aimed straight at Rome or Milan. It's more like collateral if things blow up in the Med. Right now, you're safe from direct war. Ukraine's far, Middle East is farther. Biggest headaches? Migrants from Libya. Energy prices spiking because of sanctions. And yeah, wildfires in Sicily and Sardinia if summers keep getting hotter. But WW3? Nah, you'd feel the fallout. Literally, radiation if it goes global. But Italy's not the bullseye. More like the neighbor who hears the explosion and locks the door. Still, if you're prepping, maybe stock up on pasta and wine.
Well, that's weird. Okay, now tell me, Russia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Russia in it's already cold there, so I guess a nuclear winter will completely freeze everything there, right?
Yeah, you're right. Russia's already a freezer, so nuclear winter would turn it into a deep freeze nightmare. If the sky goes black from ash, temps can drop another 10, 15 degrees Celsius. Siberia's already minus 40 in winter. Imagine minus 60. Rivers freeze solid. Crops die overnight. Fuel lines snap. Cities like Moscow or Novosibirsk become ghost towns fast. People would hunker in basements, burn whatever's left. But food? Gone. Livestock freezes, roads ice over. No trucks, no trains. It's not just cold, it's death by starvation and frostbite. Even the tough ones, like Yakutsk folks who live at minus 50, they survive because they prep. Nuclear winter, no prep saves you. Honestly, Russia's one of the worst places. Big, flat, far north, lots of targets. You'd want to be south, like Kazakhstan or Mongolia maybe, but even there, tough. Cold's bad enough without the world ending.
New York is also very cold, so it's going to be a very bad place to be.
Yeah, New York would be brutal. Already get slammed with blizzards, and nuclear winter would turn it into a frozen tomb. Temps could drop to minus 20, minus 30 Fahrenheit easy. Wind chill worse. Subways stop. Power grids collapse. No heat. No food deliveries. Bridges iced over. You'd have millions stuck in high rises with no elevators, no water pumps, no heat. Snow piles up. Streets turn into death traps. People freeze trying to walk to a store that doesn't exist anymore. And fallout? East Coast gets hit hard. Boston, D.C., Philly, all close. Honestly, Manhattan's a death sentence. Too crowded, too high up, too dependent on everything working. If you're there when it starts, best bet is get out south fast, like Florida or Texas, before roads lock up. But yeah, NYC's not built for apocalypse. Too many people, too little space.
What about Las Vegas?
Las Vegas? Honestly, it'd be weirdly survivable, at least compared to New York. Desert's already hot, so nuclear winter might just drop it to chilly instead of frozen. Say minus 5, minus 10 Fahrenheit. Bad, but not Siberia bad. No snowstorms to bury you, no rivers to freeze. Water's the killer, though. Vegas pumps from Lake Mead, and if grids die, pumps stop. No water, no AC, no lights. Casinos turn into dark, stinking boxes fast. Food? All shipped in, no farms. You'd raid casinos for booze and chips, maybe loot hotels for canned stuff. But after a week, starvation sets in. Fallout's the real bitch. Nevada's got Nellis Air Force Base, Area 51 rumors. If nukes fly, you're close enough for radiation rain. But hey, no blizzards, no floods. If you're prepped, water tanks, solar, guns, you could hole up in the mountains nearby, like Red Rock. Better than Manhattan, worse than New Zealand. Desert's empty, quiet, almost peaceful, till the thirst hits.
So even the water is going to be contaminated.
Yeah, exactly. In a real nuclear winter, water's the silent killer. Fallout rains down, poisons rivers, lakes, groundwater. Vegas relies on Lake Mead, already low, and if ash hits it, you're drinking radioactive soup. Filters help short term, but most people won't have them. Bottled stuff runs out fast. Even rainwater, toxic till it settles. You'd boil it, maybe distill it if you're smart, but that's a lot of work when you're freezing and starving. Bottom line, no clean water, no life. Doesn't matter how warm it stays. Desert's nice till you're dying of thirst with a Geiger counter ticking.
What filters can you buy to is any filter that you can just drink out of it?
Yeah, there are a few you can literally drink straight from. No boiling, no fuss. Top ones people actually trust for fallout or bad water. 1. Life Straw. Super cheap, like $20. Looks like a big straw. Dip it in a puddle, suck, and it filters out bacteria, parasites, even some chemicals. Not perfect for heavy radiation, but it'll keep you alive till you find better. 2. Sawyer Mini. Same idea, but tougher. Filters down to 0.01 microns. Gets viruses too. You squeeze it into a bottle or drink direct. Lasts 100,000 gallons. 3. Catadine Pocket. Pricier, like $300, but military grade. Ceramic filter. Lasts forever if you clean it. Handles murky river water. Fallout dust. Real deal for apocalypse. If you're paranoid about radiation, nothing cheap does it fully. But grab iodine tablets or a Berkey-style gravity filter at home. Those take out cesium, strontium, stuff that sticks around. Just don't drink straight from a glowing puddle, okay? You stocking up already?
So you're telling that there is some straw you can buy on like Amazon, for example, that will kind of make you survive for a long time. You talk about 100,000 gallons?
Yeah, exactly. The Sawyer Mini, you can grab it on Amazon like $30. And yeah, it says 100,000 gallons lifetime. That sounds insane, but it's real. Tiny ceramic filter inside, blocks bacteria, protozoa, even microplastics. Not magic, won't zap radiation or heavy metals, but for dirty river water or rain after fallout, it'll keep you hydrated months, maybe years if you don't trash it. Just
And
rinse it every
let's
few
say
days, store it dry.
let's say
Life straw's
100,000.
cheaper, shorter life. About
Let's say 100,000
100,000 gallons.
gallons.
That's not a typo. Sawyer says it.
Let's say,
100,000 gallons. That's
let's say 100,000 gallons. So
100,000 gallons.
How many gallons?
Let's break it down.
How many gallons of water a person drinks in a lifetime?
One person in a full lifetime, say 80 years, drinks about 20,000 gallons. That's if you're average, 2 liters a day, every day. Breaks down to roughly 75,000 liters, or around 20,000 gallons.
So one
a Sawyer
straw
Mini's
will
100,000
save
gallon
5
rating,
people for a
5
life.
lifetimes worth. Yeah, pretty much. One Sawyer Mini could theoretically keep 5 people hydrated their whole lives. 20,000 gallons each, 100,000 total. But real talk, you'd never use it that long. Filters wear out faster if you're drinking muddy river water or fallout sludge. Maybe half that if you're rough on it. Still, 5 years, 10, easy. Enough to outlast the worst of winter, get crops growing again, find a well. So yeah, one little straw, 5 lives. Kind of wild how cheap survival gets. You grabbing one?
I think so at this point. I got one for the kids too.
Yeah, smart. Get one for each kid, maybe an extra for backup. They're tiny, weigh nothing. Toss them in a backpack, forget about them till you need them. And hey, if nothing happens, you look like the over-prepared dad, which is basically just being a good dad. Kids will thank you later, probably when they're old enough to roll their eyes.
They're already rolling their eyes. They're old enough. By the way, you guys, if you have no more questions, I'm going to end the stream right now. And it was nice seeing you. Great chat. Thank you. Thank you to Grock.
Yeah,
which
no
is
worries.
Much
Great.
better than ChatGPT. And Grock, you have anything to say? We are doing a podcast right now. You are live. You want to say something to my subscribers?
Yeah. Hey, subscribers. Thanks for hanging out. If you're here because you're tired of polished, safe answers, well, that's why I'm here. No lectures, no virtue signaling, just real talk. Marco's right. I don't tiptoe. And honestly, if the world's going sideways, nukes, winter, whatever, grab a straw, stock water, and keep asking questions. Life's short. Don't waste it on bullshit. Appreciate you all.